Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here with another knife review for you. And as you can tell, this very frigid January 18th day, man, that's one thing I gotta say I love about the South is that even in winter, most years it never really gets all that cold, so that's pretty cool. Because I am not a cold weather person. Even though this was supposed to be the coldest winter since the 40s with more snow than ever, and I mean, as you can see, there ain't no snow. I'm wearing short sleeves. I'm happy. But now let's back to the purpose of the video. Alright, so this is the Ren Mu 605, as you'll see the model number there, the Ren Mu logo. This has been a really cool little knife, I gotta tell you what. I've been very impressed by it. So before I get into it, let's go ahead and run through the specs like I normally do. G10 handle scales. The blade steel is 8CR13 MOV, so it's a good steel. The blade itself is only about 1 3/4 inches. Cutting length is maybe about 1 1/4 inches. It is a liner lock, as you can see. Now, does have a pocket clip, but it is right side only and tip up. So if you're a tip down carry kind of person, or you're left-handed, you're kind of screwed. But it does have a lanyard hole, although it is really small. I was not able to get paracord through it, so you would have to find some other kind of cordage in order to make one if you wanted. I personally don't ever really put lanyards on my knives, so I don't really care. But I'll tell you what, here, as you can see, blade centering is absolutely perfect. It's really lightweight because obviously it is really small. You know, this is closed, you know, smaller than my hand, no matter how you put it. But if you watch my channel, one of the things that you'll see and that you hear me say is that I always like to pair a small knife with a regular size folding knife. For a couple of reasons. One, for smaller jobs. Two, if you're in a crowded place or something like that, it's more comforting to the people around you to have a smaller blade, because there are people out there that tend to freak out when you pull out a pocket knife to do different things, thinking you're going to stab everybody in the world. So these come in really, really handy. Now it does have a thumb stud, as you can see, but only on the right side. There is not one on the left. I'm sure with if you needed to, you could move it with the little torque screw. But you know, I'm right-handed, so I don't need to. But the only thing I'm going to knock this on, and I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way, is the pocket clip. Now, for one, you see how low or how much it's going to be sticking up. Let's see if I can show you in the pocket. Let's angle this down. As you can see here, you know, according as opposed to my other pocket knife, this one rides up pretty high, right? And it's really small knife. It's only this much. So I've had multiple times where this was either snagged on something or bent over, however, got knocked out of my pocket. So the pocket clip to me is a complete fail. If I were them, I would just eliminate the lanyard hole altogether and move the pocket clip up. Or, you know, a different option, just make a longer pocket clip, because it was just not good enough to really stay attached to your pocket using a pocket clip. So all I do now is I just drop it in my pocket. I mean, it's really small. I mean, you're talking about like 2-ounce knife, maybe a little under that. So you don't even know what's in there. But, I mean, the steel 8CR13 MOV takes a razor sharp edge. Out of the box was not that sharp. I mean, it did okay, but I had to resharpen it right after I got it. But I mean, I'll tell you what, it's I mean, having touched this up in a little over a month, I think that I've had it. And this paper might be a bad example because it's more like cardboard. It's really, really thick. But I mean, it would take the hair right off my leg once I got it. Once I did my sharpening with it. Sorry, I'm not on camera cutting it. Got a little hiccup here. So that's probably a bad example. But, like I said, I mean, this is really thick paper. It's almost like cardboard. Alright, so, sorry about that pause, but kind of just had a feeling I wasn't going to do the knife justice with that kind of paper that I was using, so I got a regular sheet of paper. Kind of give you an idea of the sharpness of the knife. Oops. So, I mean, as you can see, it will slice right through it, no issues. That other paper was just so thick, I wasn't expecting it to work more like cardboard than it was like paper. But, alright, so back to the knife. Very impressed. It was really inexpensive. I think I paid like $6 for it online. Now, they only come from Japan. There are no American sellers of this, at least that I could find. So, I mean, when you order, it's going to take like a month to get here because that's where they're coming from. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, to have a small little backup knife to go with the regular size folding knife, this really fits the bill. I mean, I gotta tell you, it does have a, I'm not sure what the light going on here, but it does look to be one. It's up here on the top end. Bronze bushing, which is kind of impressive for such a small knife. But the only thing about it, I mean, it's not really a one-handed opening. You'll see there is area for a cutout for the thumb stud, but it's kind of hard to get to. So this is really more of a two-handed opening knife than it is one. Not to mention that when it's coming out, you'll see it kind of hits there, and then it fully locks into place. So you kind of feel it bumping on the way down, which, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something to know going into it that it's not just gonna flip right out, because it does get caught in a couple different spots. And like I said, that's not a deal breaker for me, because with a really small knife like this, I'm typically not expecting to just pull it and flick it, you know, because you see, now it finally pops open. But, you know, it is an extremely secure lockup. You got nothing, no play side to side, front to back at all. So for such an inexpensive little knife, it was really well constructed, and the steel was really good. I mean, I love HCR 13 MOV because it is a great budget steel. It is pretty rust resistant. I mean, you got a good mirror polish on this thing. So good looking little knife. Practical knife. I mean, it works really, really well. I definitely recommend, if you're looking for something small, then this is the way to go. I might even just take off the pocket clip, because since it's pretty useless, or at least for riding in the pocket, you know, just keep carrying it, but just keep it in the pocket instead of using the clip. You know, and of course that'll drop just a little bit of weight on it, but I mean, who needs it? You got open pillar construction. So, you know, easy to clean if you needed to. But there's a lot of stuff this little thing will do. I mean, you know, I was notching wood with it, opening packages, all that kind of stuff, cutting cardboard. I mean, you have to have the realistic expectation, though. It is a small knife, and so it is going to do small jobs. But it will do the small jobs really well. So, I mean, you could use, I mean, really thin blade with the good blade design. I mean, blade geometry. So, I mean, this could even be used in a first aid kit to help with, you know, either getting splinters out or cleaning up a wound, or as far as getting debris out if you don't have tweezers, or sometimes if you have a really, really bad cut and you got to cut off some excess skin. I mean, like I said, this thing takes a razor sharp edge. I mean, hair shaving sharp edge. So, you know, this could be used in a host of applications. I mean, I've really been impressed by it. Just remember, it's going to be a two-handed opening knife, and don't even attempt with the pocket clip. Might as well just take it off. If you like the lanyards, throw something in there and knock yourself out, have some fun. But, alright, hope this helps you. The Ren Mu 605, definitely recommended. Very inexpensive, And I mean, look, I mean, you even got this little extra finger choil. I mean, yeah, you're only going to get, well, I mean, if you can see here, still going to cover most of my hand, so you can get a good grip. I mean, if you really had to crank down on it, so if you're in a survival situation and your regular knife broke, I mean, you know, you can use it from back here, and it's completely comfortable. I mean, there is no jimping or anything, but it doesn't really need it. I mean, nothing with this small. Or you can choke up on it, you know, and really get good control, good detail work out of it. So, you know, hope this helps you. Highly recommend it. Get one, get a couple, throw them around the house in the drawers, toolbox, bug out bag, in your pocket, wherever you got to do. I mean, they're really inexpensive and it's a really good blade. So, alright, that'll be it. That's it for me. In the meantime, be prepared, have fun.